Fiery Tourism Secretary defends THA's efforts in the industry. Secretaries include disclaimer against criminal activities, Finance Minister extends tax amnesty, and in sports, two Tobagonians earn spots on the national women's netball team. Good evening, I'm Patricia Nicholson-Richards. Welcome to the Tobago Updates television news for Friday, 30th June 2023. Topping the news tonight, a fiery tourism secretary blasted the minority over claims of mishandling the tourism industry as debate on the THA budget for 2023 to 2024 continued in the House. Here's Candice Jackson with more.
After hearing criticism leveled against the present THA administration, Secretary of Tourism, Culture, Antiquities and Transportation, Tasha Burris, responded with this retort.
One of the things he also likes to say is, we are the TPP, we are the toilet paper party. Well, that might be an insult, but when you really do check it, we might be the toilet paper party because we have plenty mess to clean up.
Among the inaccuracies she sought to clarify was the alleged lack of planning for October's Tobago Carnival.
You say nobody and nothing happening. You're talking about carnival planning. You ever stop to think that we never stopped planning since last year? You ever stop to think that a lot of things are happening behind closed doors, behind the scenes to make sure that what we put out this year is a great product? But yet all the talk you're talking about, band leaders don't know nothing and whatnot, and band launching every week up and down the place.
Looking ahead to the plans for the tourism industry, Boris said their research indicated that ecotourism is the best way forward.
The travelers that we want to attract to Tobago are interested in sustainable practices. They're interested in responsible tourism. The kind of travelers who look at Tobago as a destination are not your mass market type of tourists, but they want especially curated experiences. They want to experience staying in a local community.
She also announced plans to stimulate the increase of room stock by providing land and allowing investors to develop boutique hotels.
Would identify plots of land specifically for the development of boutique hotels under 80 rooms. We are asking in the first instance that 10 of these plots be made available to us.
In order to fill those hotels, additional airlift is needed. Secretary Boris claimed the THA is working assiduously to increase airlift. However, unlike airports in Port of Spain and Jamaica, they must pay and negotiate for it.
We also have to take responsibility for going out there and looking for the business. We cannot wait on a Minister of Tourism in Trinidad to decide that Tobago need planes to fly. That is why we have to travel, Mr. Minority Leader. We have to go out there and look for the business. The business will not come to us.
Boris also called for the government to appoint more than one Tobagonian to the board of Caribbean Airlines because Tobago's needs continue to be ignored by the carrier. I am Candice Jackson reporting for Tobago Updates Television News.
Land and home ownership is one of the issues plaguing the Tobago populace. Speaking at yesterday's budget presentation, Secretary Ian Pollard outlined plans to ameliorate the residents of Tobago's lives through the provision of adequate, convenient and affordable housing. Sinead Campbell has more in this report.
Secretary Ian Pollard began his budget presentation by first highlighting his plans for his electoral district of Providence, Mason Hall, Mariah. Of these included a plan to introduce a technical vocational center in the community of Mason Hall.
Another exciting community initiative will be the construction of a tech voc and workshop area adjacent to the Mason Hall High School. The visionary project aims to foster entrepreneurship and enhance technical and vocational skills, particularly in joinery and automotive maintenance.
In highlighting the division's achievements over the past year, Secretary Pollard spoke about refurbishments done to townhouses in which worthy Tobagonians were able to benefit from.
Through this refurbishment of townhouses unit, we have provided deserving families with safe and comfortable homes, spreading joy during the festive season. Among the recipients of these refurbished townhouses is a remarkable individual who needs no introduction, Mr. Rennie Cow, a renowned and deserving Tobagonian athlete.
Young persons often lament about the challenges they experience with home acquisition. Well, the Division of Settlements, Public Utilities and Rural Development has something in store.
I am pleased to announce that we are currently engaged in discussion with the First Citizen Bank to revitalize the Young Professional Home Ownership Saving Program. This program, aimed at supporting young professionals in achieving their dreams of home ownership, will provide financial assistance and guidance.
On the way is the Rise Land Housing Development Project. This is expected to forego the construction of a considerable number of houses, offering housing solutions to the people of Tobago, especially those within the low-income bracket.
This procurement process for this project has been successfully completed, and we have identified a preferred proponent. As we finalize the details, signing of this contract will be done within the next week or two. Pending Executive Council approval, I am thrilled to announce that this will be the largest development the division has undertaken to date, with an estimated yield of 447 units.
Chane Campbell, Tobago Updates News.
In her contribution to the budget debate, Secretary for Education, Research and Technology, Sarisha Hackett, said she plans to maintain the school repair program. Here's Brianna Brebner with the details.
Following last year's issue with the school repair program, Secretary for Education, Research and Technology Sarisha Hackett promised to do a better job.
Our third strategic focus is to continue to maintain a robust school repair program that maintains the plans at the highest standards.
In addition, Scarborough Secondary School was on the agenda to be built as the island's first technology-centered school.
This administration commits to seeing the construction of this new school as the island's first smart school.
Meanwhile, the Education Secretary said that the special needs sector would receive some attention in the upcoming fiscal year.
A new specialist school for students in the speech, language and hearing impairment sector. We commit to beginning the process to build such a school. Until that is accomplished, we commit to upgrading existing facilities at the Happy Haven and the School for the Deaf to meet the needs of our differently abled children.
I am Brianna Brebner reporting for Tobago Updates Television News.
More news after the break. Stay close.
Jimmy's Holiday Resorts has 1, 2 and 3 bedroom fully self-contained apartments located at the heart of Crown Point. Minutes walk to the popular beaches, restaurants, bars and the airport. Enjoy our amazing amenities such as fully equipped apartments complete with Wi-Fi, AC, TV and a pool and a mini-mart on the compound. Call 639-8292 or 8929. Jimmy's Holiday Resorts is your family's home away from home.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
Are you flood ready? Review and update insurance coverage. Install floodgates and barriers. Create a family flood plan. An initiative to help people prevent, prepare, recover. TATIL, where people are people.
This is the Tobago Updates Television News. The Water and the Sewage Authority of Trinidad and Tobago hosted a 2-day relationship building workshop and outreach session with Tobago suppliers. All local contractors were invited to attend the consultation held yesterday. The initiative culminated today with outreach visits to suppliers across Tobago. Chane Campbell tells us more.
Arlene Johnson-Lawrence, head of procurement at Wasa, said that this initiative was envisioned to invite all interested contractors to explore partnership opportunities with the Water and Sewage Authority. She further outlined the company's key areas of focus for the consultation over the 2-day period.
The first thing we're going to do is to ensure that all of our vendors that are partially registered with the authority get fully registered with the authority. We're also going to explain to them how to get registered on the Office of Procurement Regulations depository, because that's important.
Mrs. Johnson-Lawrence further explained that being registered as a vendor is not the only requirement, as they also need to be registered with the depository in order to conduct business with Wasa.
In the past, in order to be invited to quote on something for Wasa, you needed to be a Wasa registered vendor. Now, with the full proclamation of the procurement legislation on April the 26th, you now need to be registered on the procurement's depository and registered with Wasa. So it's a two-stage thing.
When questioned about road repair works, she pointed out that contractors need to partner with Wasa so that repairs can be done in a timely and efficient manner, as they do not have the capacity to repair damaged roads.
We may have the ability to fix the leak, but Wasa doesn't produce bitumen, Wasa doesn't produce aggregate, Wasa doesn't produce hot mix. So that the actual permanent road restoration is done by contracted services. Whether it is, I can't remember all the different companies that operate in Tobago that have the asphalt machines and these kinds of things. If they don't partner with us, we can't fix the road.
Chane Campbell reporting for Tobago Updates Television News.
Minister of Finance Colm Imbert has announced an extension of the tax amnesty for the income year 2021. The new deadline date is August 31st. Here's more.
In a press release from the Ministry of Finance dated June 30th, Minister Colm Imbert announced an extension of the tax amnesty for the income earning year 2021 to August 31st, 2023. The decision for the extension was based on the requirement of Section 29(1) of the Procurement and Disposal of Public Property Act for all suppliers and contractors to public bodies to pay the required taxes and contributions to the government. The release further stated that since the proclamation of the Act in April 2023, suppliers of goods and services to public entities must now be able to produce a tax clearance certificate from the Inland Revenue Division, and where applicable, a certificate of compliance from the National Insurance Board. Evidence of payment on outstanding taxes and contributions must be provided to the relevant institutions. The minister recognized that small and medium businesses were severely affected by the COVID-19 pandemic for 2 years and would have fallen behind in their payment of taxes and contributions. As such, this would affect their ability to pre-qualify to supply goods and services to public entities. It is for this reason that the Cabinet agreed to extend the deadline for tax amnesty. I am Luke James Trim reporting for Tobago Updates Television News.
Secretaries during the budget debate last evening included in their contributions a disclaimer indicating that they were not under any criminal investigation. Here's Candice Jackson with the details.
Before they began their budget debate contributions, members of the Executive Council issued a disclaimer saying they were not under investigation by the police. This was in response to the Minority Leader's contribution, where he continued to allude to criminality and illegalities committed by the administration. The disclaimers began as Deputy Chief Secretary Dr. Faith B. Israel was the first out to bat in response to Minority Leader.
And let me say it again, have never been Mr. Deputy Presiding Officer, and I'm not currently on any criminal charges as a part of this executive or all by myself. I'm not.
Assemblyman Zorisha Hackett also sought to clear her name. She was one of the individuals accused of being in a controversial audio clip and is a subject of constant attacks from the minority and the Tobago Council of the PNM.
That I, Zorisha Amina Hackett, daughter of Clyde and Julia Hackett, mother of Zahara Chloe Hackett Lewis and Zari Rain Hackett Karut, am not under any criminal investigation, currently, past, or future. Much to my knowledge, And I want to refute the words of the minority leader and minority councillor.
And in delivering a fiery contribution to the debate, Councillor Tashia Grace Boris requested a few minutes from the presiding officer to put out her disclaimer.
I, Tashia Grace Boris, as far as I am humanly aware, has never been the subject of any criminal investigation. And as far as I know, I am not currently the subject of any criminal investigation at this time. I only stand here to serve the people of Tobago and serve them to the best of my ability.
Minority Leader Kelvin Morris repeatedly told Tobagonians that it is a shame that members of the Executive Council are under police investigation. I am Candice Jackson for Tobago Updates Television News.
Find out more about Tobago's inclusion in the national women's netball team when we return. Sport is next.
This is how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show, and everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look up below. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show.
Are you flood ready? Recycle and properly dispose of large waste. Avoid sweeping yard clippings or trash into drains. Plant trees to avoid soil erosion. An initiative to help people prevent, prepare, recover. Tatil, where people are people.
October will never be better with Tobago Carnival fever. Book your passage and come on over.
Are you looking for a place for your loved ones? Heavenly Care welcomes you. Located at Northside Road opposite Massey Motors, we offer a variety of services. These include doctor visitations, social activities, geriatric care, and much more. Contact us at 277-9595 or visit us at Northside Road opposite Massey Motors. At Heavenly Care, compassion is at the heart of all care.
Welcome to a sport report. 2 Tobagonians were named on the national female netball team to compete at the World Cup in South Africa. Here's Marcus Daniel with more.
The Trinidad and Tobago Netball Association named their squad for the 2023 Netball World Cup. It will be held in Cape Town, South Africa from July 28th to August 6th. Included in the 12-woman squad are 2 Tobagonians, Jarisha McKetney and Oprah Douglas. New South Wales Swift star Samantha Wallace has not yet recovered from her injury and was ruled out of the competition. Trinidad and Tobago will compete in the Group D part of the competition along with New Zealand, Uganda and Singapore. 16 teams will vie for the title of the 16th staging of the Netball World Cup. It is also the first time the event will be held in Africa. The tournament, which took place 61 years ago in 1962, will be held at the International Convention Centre in Cape Town. Trinidad and Tobago were joint world champions with Australia and New Zealand when the tournament was hosted in Trinidad in August 1979. I am Candice Jackson reporting for Tobago Updates Television News.
And in some exciting football news, the Tobago Football League is getting ready to kick off in a month's time. Here's more in this report.
The 2023 season of the Tobago Football Association League is set to commence next Wednesday, 5th July. The announcement was made by President of the TFA, Everton Alfred, on the Tobago Updates morning show. Alfred said there will be 21 clubs competing in 3 conferences this season.
We're going to continue the format from last year with a little change, or addition, I should say. We have the 3 conferences, 7 teams in each conference, and then you would have the top 2 from each conference, and the 2 best third place making an 8. But that 8 would be divided based on a draw into 2 groups of 4.
In addition, 2 new teams will join the fold this year. 2013-2014 champions Castaway Gold City and the youthful Eagles United. Matches will be played at recreational grounds throughout Tobago on Wednesdays, Fridays and Sundays. Alfred said the Belgarden recreational ground was added to the list of playing venues.
We're going to have Speyside, starting in the east, we're going to have Speyside, Roxborough. We just added Belgarden to the fold, Mount St. George. Then we go to Mariah, Montgomery, Blackrock, Plymouth. Now that they've fixed the lights, we're going to be playing a lot more games in Plymouth. And then, of course, right after the Commonwealth Games, we expect to have Shaw Park, Mount Pleasant, and hopefully Canaan Bonaccord as well back on the fold.
When asked about women's football, Alfred stated that a high-performance centre is currently working to advance the sport among girls. Marcus Daniel, Tobago Update Sports.
We take a short break and come back with more news right after this.
Everybody only worrying. Never ever worry. Don't mind how things looking hard. I tell them never ever worry. If your life can't get damaged bad. I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil is always right here for you. I tell them never ever worry. Don't mind if life make you sad. I tell them never ever worry. If your house get flooded out real bad. I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil is always right here for you. I tell them never ever worry. If sickness catch you off guard. I tell them never ever worry. If times fall on you real hard. I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil will always be here for you.
Never worry about a thing. Tatil, where people are people. You know what I mean.
Right now, Tobagonians are just currying down to Bonaccord, right in Stobie Local Road. You know why? To come down and shop at Authentic Builders General Hardware, the only hardware store in Tobago that is giving you guys Trinidad prices. So for instance, such as steel, 1/2 inch and 5/8, $7,895. 5/8 construction ply for $260. Every single thing that you will need to do your home renovation or start your new construction, we have it right here. And to get your quotation, it's very easy. Just WhatsApp us at 272-1990 and we will do your free WhatsApp quotation for you.
We party till we drop down there with a lot of pretty girls down there, down in Tobago.
Are you flood ready? Monitor trusted sources for info. Wear protective gear when you clean up. Contact your insurance provider to assess the damage. An initiative to help people prevent, prepare, recover. Tatil, where people are people.
More than ordinary, becoming legendary. This was the theme selected for Bishop's High School's graduation 2023. The ceremony was held yesterday at the Shaw Park Cultural Complex, and Jenny Campbell has the details.
Making sure everything's alright.
In attendance was School Supervisor 3 at the Division of Education, Research and Technology, Mrs. Sharianne Willox-Hackett, who commended the students for their resilience in the face of many challenges, including the unprecedented COVID-19 pandemic.
I declare every one of you a success this morning. Successes you are because you have stayed the course. In the face of COVID, you dug your heels in the sand and refused to surrender to the uncertainties of the times.
Additionally, Father Wendell Bernard, chairman of the Board of Governors, reminded the students that growth is a process and this is only one aspect of their lifelong journey. He further admonished the students to seek God's guidance on their respective pathways.
And I hope that this day will be the beginning of another growing process for you. A growing process where you will be guided by God in whatever areas of life that He will call you to. And wherever you are placed, wherever you are, do not say to yourself, I am in the wrong place. Because God has a reason for calling you to that place.
O.J. Richards, Tobagonian solo pianist and arranger, as well as past student of Bishop's High School, was the featured speaker at the graduation ceremony. Mr. Richard has brought Uptown Fascinators Panside victories both at the national and Tobago levels. He encouraged the students to remain relentless in following their aspirations, especially those that are less conventional or cliched. Mr. Richards is the epitome of virtuosity, and of course, we had the pleasure of witnessing it firsthand as he offered a musical rendition. Congratulations to all the graduates. Remember, you are
Fiery recapping the headlines. Fiery Tourism Secretary defends efforts in the industry. Secretaries include disclaimer against criminal activities. Finance Minister extends tax amnesty. And in sports, 2 Tobagonians earn spots on national women's netball team. I'm Patricia Nicholson Richards, thanking you so much for joining us and wishing you a great night.